Got their glass up. Mannup Network, let's go.
Did mine just dissipate into the rain? I'll have to cut this off.
That man Jose be having me going.
I want to know when you started drinking Jose. What have you been doing in your off time?
Dude, I had to switch the fucking
I
I had to switch the light liquor, man. I cannot do dark anymore, man.
So, if you've been listening, as you can see, we have got Mr. Matlock transitioning from dark to light.
Sounds about right.
We got red wine down there with the dog-ass ugly background. Got my man Hackett there with the absolute all praises due and all respect due to the background.
Yeah.
So I guess since the order was that we're going to start with Matlock with the odds. Or was
No. I got dibs on the odds.
That's right.
I will be picking for these guys.
Okay. Whack. Anyway, so you're the odds.
And Hack, we'll let you pick for your Broncos.
All right.
As long as you don't blow it, because if you blow it, I'm gonna have to talk bad about you.
You know, right?
I did y'all justice yesterday.
I'll spend my pick out why the pick that we're going to get is irrelevant because we already basically setting up for all the righteous moves. So anyway, Cincinnati has the first pick. Their needs are at quarterback, offensive tackle, and linebacker. Go.
What have they done so far in free agency, Heck?
So far, I mean, DJ Reader, D tackle. They got Mackenzie Alexander. I mean, that's really it on the defensive side. Trey Waynes, I mean, but not like any other needs that they need to fill, bro. I haven't seen it.
Nothing on the offensive line?
I didn't see anything on the O-line because that's one of their biggest needs still, quarterback, O-line, linebacker. They haven't addressed it. So.
Well, that being said, we know where they're going anyway, so it doesn't really matter. They
Right.
will be selecting Joe Burrow, number 1, walk out the door, fill up the stadium, Ohio kid, go keep that stadium somewhat packed until they decide to get mad at you later on in life. It's okay.
Right, it's smart. And they're listening to him already, you know what I mean? Because he said, hey, resign or get AJ, and, you know, he better be there. So, and they're listening to him.
Franchise tagged him.
Franchise
tagged him, yes, sir. So,
meanwhile, I know AJ's
sitting
there like,
Oh. Well, so there he goes. So moving on to number 2, which means Mr. Matlock, Washington. They have offensive tackle needs, edge rush needs, tight end needs. They also have Dwayne Haskins. I also believe, if I'm not mistaken, Hackett, did they not re-sign Adrian Peterson?
Let me check that out. I believe so.
Yeah.
I think they did.
Yeah, and, I haven't seen anything on it on my wire right now, but I knew there was a talk of it because I saw it come across my feed earlier today. I don't know if that's a done deal as of yet, but yeah, I don't see it because right now they got the linebackers covered with Thomas Davis.
They did get Thomas Davis. He was in San Diego.
Ron Rivera.
Yeah.
Moved on from Josh Norman, right?
Josh Norman's gone.
Yeah, they moved on from him. So where are they going?
Yeah.
So without question, you got to get the best player in the goddamn draft. Chase Young. Like, you got to get him. He's a once-in-a-generational type player, like a Von Miller, fucking Lawrence Taylor. Like, Bosa, he's that type of guy. You got to get him, even though they may not be sold on their young quarterback that they drafted last year.
Yeah, that's a whole different.
Please let him stay. Please let him stay.
Well, you know, so which if we're going to talk about subpar quarterbacks staying, they in Detroit have decided that they're going to stick with Stafford. They have interior defensive line needs, interior offensive line needs, and a safety need. Odds are Jeezy, so who do you got them going with?
We're rolling with Jeff Okudah, cornerback, Ohio State. You got rid of Big Play Slay and sold him for a bag of Cracker Jacks. Therefore, you gotta re-up on him. Now they did sign a corner, but he's pretty much insurance in the event that Jeff doesn't work out like he's supposed to.
I was gonna say, yeah. What kind of
what corner did they pick up?
In a free agency, Hackett?
They picked up a boy from Atlanta. Hack.
Yeah.
Trufant.
Yeah.
Trufant.
And Trufant used to be one of those guys. Like he's just getting. Is he over 30?
I think
No.
so.
I think he's only about 28, 29.
Really?
What's his Madden rating? His Madden rating might be bad.
His Madden rating might be very bad. The point is he's not an equal sell going out with Darius Slay. He's not Slay.
We should have Madden ratings on demand. Okay, well, that's where they're going. Moving on is the New York Giants. That's number 4, so that's an even. So they have needs at offensive tackle, edge rush, and safety. Mr. Matlock, where do you have them going?
You know what, man? Like, you don't hear this from me this whole time. And I know Hack can kind of relate, man. If you have a quarterback that you believe in, you gotta fucking protect him. You know what I mean? So they're going to go with Tristan Wirfs from fucking Iowa. Big-ass old lineman, just a nasty dog. Like 6'5", 230. He can run block for Barkley, and he can pass block. And he's long. He got some long-ass arms. He can stand up and scratch his toes. So he'll be good to go.
That's a big dude.
What other moves, Hack, have they made in free agency?
So they pretty much they got two linebackers. Well, they re-signed Mayo. See, Blake Martinez. That was another one that was floating out there. You know, a lot of people were interested. Then they did a Cam Fleming, a tackle. Other than that, I mean, it looks like they basically handled the defensive side of the ball. Like Chris said, though, to his point, I really think they should address some of them line issues.
I'd like for them to continue to suck on offensive line. I have no problems with this. Congratulations, bros.
Hate is real tonight. The hate is truly real.
Oh, just wait. The Patriots get to pick at some point. You're going to hear it seep out of Matlock's pores.
That's the point. I forgot. They still have to make some moves as well. But sticking with that division, that's actually a perfect segue. I'll start with you this time, Hackett. What moves has Miami been making in free agency, knowing that they have needs at quarterback, left tackle, and running back?
Man, Miami's been moving. So you got, Eric Flowers. You got they got Jordan Howard. They signed him. What was that? 2-year, $10 million, something like that.
Yep.
Byron Jones.
Hate it.
Shaq Lawson.
I hate it.
Ed Rusher. Yeah, I mean, I think Miami's gonna be in trouble, though. To be honest with you, what did you think, man, on the free agency?
Their free agency haul wasn't bad, but they're not doing anything for this year.
Right.
They're not doing anything for this year.
Right.
And the reason they're not doing anything for this year is because the player they're about to pick is not going to play this year. Tua's going to Miami, baby, and he's ready.
You think Tua can come to Buffalo and fucking play in Orchard Park in fucking 20-degree weather with that wind blowing coming from Hawaii?
Yes. You only got to do it once. We don't have to be there back-to-back weeks.
So then just a quick follow-up before we move to the next one. Knowing that they're going for Tua, don't you think then they should be addressing their left tackle need?
Well, shit, they got like three picks.
They have 3 picks in this first round. They will get the left tackle.
Okay.
Guaranteed.
We'll move on to the I-9 Chargers. I'm just going to call them what they are. We'll talk about the I-9 Chargers here, who have needs at quarterback, left tackle, and linebacker. Since they missed out on the Brady sweepstakes, they just lost Melvin Gordon to the
man.
I ain't want to say nothing, but since we talking about him,
Wait.
They did steal one of y'all's boys, though.
That's all I'm about to say, Matt. Like, can I dig that one in? They did get Chris Harris.
Chris Harris, they could have him. They could have
He
him.
will be here to terrorize y'all's.
We got 2 for the price of 1.
Would you
Right.
still have that same energy if Chris Harris was with the Broncos?
Dude,
Chris Harris kind of fell off. He was kind of in his feelings last year.
I just want to know why y'all didn't just trade.
He lost a step. He was getting burnt pretty much most season.
You know who burnt him? John Brown. But
the whole defensive line made sure he got burnt too.
But sticking to the picks, man, I think LA they lost out on Brady, so they got to go get a quarterback. They
lost out on Tua
with no quarterback. Even though they got my boy Tyrod and he broke the curse, I'll always love him, but they got to get your boy Herbert from Oregon. Like, he's big, he's athletic, he can make every throw. He's a little, he's off at times when his feet ain't set, but every quarterback's like that. So he just needs to sit behind Tyrod, who's not going to turn over the ball mostly because he's not going to take any chances. And then, he'll grow in and be that starter.
I like it. It's 2 wins for the Broncos for the next few years. Moving on to pick number 7, Carolina. They've decided to sign. I know they signed Teddy Bridgewater, and they have needs at interior defensive and offensive line and quarterback. What other moves have they made in free agency, Aki?
So let's go to the Carolina Panthers. My notes here. Kyle Allen extension.
They gave him
I don't know. I mean, Bridgewater was the best move they made.
Yes.
To be honest with you. Bridgewater still has a lot of game left in him. Russell Okung was a good pickup as well. See who else. For me, that about does it for me.
I wish bad on them until they do right by my boy Cam.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I have a 15-second question. Is Bridgewater better than Cam?
No.
No, okay. I don't think so. I think sometimes, man, especially as a quarterback, when you got to move on, you got to move on. Okay. Like the system, the cities just kind of failed Cam. They just wanted him to just do everything himself. He just can't do it, man.
Okay.
I think Cam needs to move on.
Okay. With that being said, Cam's leaving, but they're about to take a dogged linebacker / safety / slot corner / you plug and play him anywhere on the field wherever you want to. Isaiah Simmons, linebacker out of Clemson. He's going to be a 4.35 running monster. I actually kind of look forward to seeing him. I'm just going to hate when we go up against him because I'd rather be on my team.
Hey, and I mean, Kuechly just retired too.
Retired. That's painful. The problem is Simmons is not a middle linebacker.
Oh, no.
Put him in the middle. But anywhere else on that field?
He can bend.
Speaking of linebackers, that's a perfect segue because the rebuilding Arizona Cardinals have a need at linebacker. They also have a need at edge rusher and offensive tackle. They are number 8. So, Chris, who do you have them going
with? Well, since who did they pick up in a robbery?
With no gun.
Andre.
With no gun.
Robbery.
Hey, I'll say this. The last trade I saw that bad was Pau Gasol for Kwame Brown.
No. No. Randy Moss to the Patriots for a 6th round pick.
But that made sense at the time because of what Randy was doing. No, man. They traded – dude, Pau Gasol was the best thing that had happened to any Grizzly, Memphis or Vancouver. He was the franchise. And Kwame Brown is the first-round bust to end all first-round bust. And it was like, we'll do it straight up. That's a good trade. That's a good trade. Let's do that. That's what happened here. That's exactly – they were like, hey, this running back hasn't played a full season of football since Pop Warner. How about you give us the best receiver you got for him? Shit, let's do it.
Let's do it. And with that being said, since they don't need another possession receiver because Fitzgerald is on his last year pretty much,
Yeah, he's better 1 year.
And we're going to stick to what I said earlier. You got to protect these quarterbacks. He cannot be running for his life like he was last year. Arizona picks Jedrick Willis, tackle out of Alabama.
Okay.
Plug and play.
That's a quality pick
them
right
two
there.
start together for years to come.
Okay. So
that's a solid pick right there.
So we stick to the hot weather areas and we go down to where it's crazy, which is Jacksonville. Because I was told by my Uncle Charlotte, the craziest people come from the Bronx and all of Florida. They have a need at cornerback, edge rusher, and offensive tackle. They just gave away their 4-year signed quarterback for a jar of peanut butter and a paper bag sack. So who do you have them picking up number 9, Mr. Redwine?
But before we do that, they just gave away one of the best defensive tackles in the league. Now, even though the Hopkins trade was bad, giving Baltimore Calais Campbell,
that was
in the neighborhood.
Yeah, that's up there.
It left me a little bit flabbergasted, but seeing how the top of this draft is loaded with defensive linemen, well, okay, I'm not going to argue. Derek Brown, Auburn. He's younger. He'll have longer tread. But he's not Calais Campbell. I don't care what anybody says. He's not Calais Campbell, man.
Not Calais Campbell.
Hey, and you know Calais, he's a Denver guy, even though I'm popping my collar with a Buffalo.
Yeah. As Jacksonville, other than moving off of Calais, have they done anything else worthy of note?
Not at all. Not at all. I think Jacksonville needs a change of coaches, man. They just need just revamp the whole process and the issue. Because like I said, right now they look like they want to suck. For real.
Jacksonville.
You wake up, you look in the mirror one day and go, you know what, man? I think I want to suck today.
I think I'm gonna be hard today. Yeah, let's do it that way.
Life as a Browns fan.
Speaking of, hey, I woke up feeling like a loser. That's Cleveland. And they need an interior offensive lineman, a linebacker, and a safety to go with that star-studded quarterback that they have in Baker Mayfield. Hey, Mr. Matlock, who you got them going with?
Again, we got to protect these goddamn quarterbacks. Got to keep them upright. Can't have them with the happy feet. And you know Baker got happy feet.
Happy.
Hold on, dance fever, baby.
He be sleepwalking, freaking trying to
little dance, make a little love.
John Travolta.
So we're gonna get offensive tackle, Mikael Becton out of Louisville. He's a dog, gonna play with Baker for years.
That's a big man.
What other moves has Cleveland made in the offseason, Hack?
They made a lot, actually. Because you got Case Keenum. I mean, even though we know what he's worth, but he actually has a lot of knowledge as far as being a backup, and he can help out that young man.
Yep.
Janovich, solid QB coach.
Yeah, which was a weird signing. What are they going to go to? Does he need more protection back there or what? Because Jano's solid. If the Broncos weren't going away from what we're running now currently, hey, man, Jano's a solid player. Kareem Hunt, they just, gave him that second round tender. What else did they do? I know they picked up somebody.
They got Hopper, the dude out of the tight end.
Austin Hooper.
Austin Hooper. Yeah.
Nice pickup.
Yeah.
That was a great pickup, especially for, that's the biggest problem is you can't have a young quarterback sit back and drop back, throw long bombs all day, man. Like, you can't. You got to basically cut them up the seams, and you got a solid tight end, bro. You can do it. So, I don't know. I don't expect Bake to have so much on his shoulders this year because I think he was talking a little bit more than what he should have last year.
Yeah, he
need to go visit The Rock. Like, Know Your Road Boulevard.
And segue, if we're going to talk about movie stars and whatnot, we move on to the 11th pick, which is the New York Jets. Now they have a need of edge rusher, offensive tackle, and cornerback. Outside of Andrew Gase being what looks like a recovering meth head, what kind of look do you see the Jets making this year to their team?
The Jets are about to lose Robbie Anderson. Now, outside of Robbie Anderson, I can't name another Jets wide receiver right now. And I've been over here thinking for a couple minutes on this. So that being said, despite the fact that we know that they need help on defense and they got rid of their best cornerback that they just dumped, the Jets are going to go ahead and take Jerry Jeudy right now. Take Jerry Jeudy. You gotta do something. You gotta do something, man.
You gonna bring that dog to the AFC East?
Yes,
Ugh.
yes. I mean, you have all them high-powered corners. You might as well guard somebody.
Hey, you know,
the game don't play all year.
Goalie Academy, he gonna lock this thing down.
Have the Jets made any other free agency splashes, Hackett, or are they just
no?
They're just sitting. They're gonna hold pat on what they get in the draft.
They signed Connor McGovern. That's about it. You know.
I love hearing all my ex-players just getting picked up. It makes my stomach cringe.
You know, that actually isn't a bad pickup, though. McGovern kind of got a bad rap in Denver because he was playing out of position. They had him transition to center. He was a tackle or a guard, rather, and he should have been. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Speaking of moving to new places, the relocating Raiders are
your new home team, baby. Your new home team.
Hey. And they've gotten their quarterback needs, Matt, because they picked up Marcus Mariota.
Hey, man. Come on.
So they need wide receivers, interior defensive linemen, cornerbacks. And listen, I know it may sound weird, but the fact that they did pick up Mariota, it does signal to me they don't believe in Derek Carr. So who do you have them going with, Matlock?
Hey. They got to go get CD Lamb. I would have gave him Jeudy because he can run all the goddamn routes. But Lamb, sticking with what the Raiders have loved to do ever since their late owner passed away.
Just blow it.
Get the fastest goddamn guy in the draft.
Blow it.
You run a 4-1, baby. We want you.
We want you.
You got one pass in 4 years, but you run a 4-1. The Raiders want you.
Right.
Come on down.
But CD though has game though. So he can route run and he has hands and he's 6'2". He ain't a little guy. He's just light in the butt though. But he's 200 pounds though. He's good.
So here's where it gets interesting.
I mean, I think Marcus will be all right though, man, because Gruden's he's the quarterback guru, and so he was never sold on Carr ever. So I think he made his pick, man. He's running things. 100 million, 10 years, brother. He's doing something over there.
And they picked up a tight end that's like rated 67 overall in Madden and Witten.
He said 67 overall.
That's going to be my answer. Bye, Jason. I'm glad we can give you a Hall of Fame career. You have fun over there.
He said he ranked him 67. It's like Johnny Unitas trying to come back. Moving into the 13th pick. Now, this is an interesting one, Jeezy, because this is it looks like it's San Francisco from Indianapolis.
Yes.
So knowing that they just went to the Super Bowl, they pretty much have their T's crossed and I's dotted. They've got offensive tackle, cornerback, and for whatever reason, wide receiver needs. Where do you see them going?
With this pick, this one's going to be a little bit rough. This one's going to be a little bit rough because you have a couple players sitting up here that they kind of need. There's an offensive lineman that they kind of need. But based on what you saw in the Super Bowl, do you trust Richard Sherman?
I don't trust anybody on San Francisco.
All right, let's get him up out of here. C.J. Henderson, come on down.
What college cornerback from where? What college you go to?
Cornerback from Florida.
Florida, there you go.
His man defense is nice.
They breed him down.
Let him go get it.
I don't even think they had cap room to freaking do anything.
I was going to say, they got tooled anywhere? Has San Francisco tooled anywhere?
They basically re-signed former players, so that's all they did. Yep.
Yeah, and they sent the big one packing, which is how they got this 13th pick.
Ben Garland and Ward and all those guys, they just re-signed them. They didn't do anything else. Like Chris said, I think they were hurting on that cap.
Yeah.
Well,
it all binds up eventually.
I give John Lynch a lot of credit for what he's doing over there. Speaking of John Lynch, he is a Hall of Famer, and the team he came out of outside of, them Denver Broncos, because, he did play there for a minute, but he won his Super Bowl ring with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
I say he didn't win with y'all, so that shouldn't count.
Being that they picked up 142, getting ready to be 43-year-old Tom Brady. They have offensive tackle needs, which I believe they met in free agency or are getting ready to meet in free agency, interior D-line needs, and running back needs.
Man,
this is 14. Matlock, where you guys
they done lost some people inside. McCoy's gone and Sue is gone. So we're going to give them this boy, Javon Kinslow, out of South Carolina. This boy is big. He's going to take up space, and he's a dog. Period.
He's a hole plugger.
I
can say nothing bad about that.
And I think it's smart to go defense, too, because for all the reports, and I think, Hackett, you can probably back this up, there's a number of people who are calling about wanting to go play with Brady in Tampa Bay.
Of course. Same thing happened with Peyton and us.
Yeah, I remember that.
You know what I mean? But, they re-signed Jason Pierre-Paul. I don't know how his fingers are now.
He's totally throwing up cuz.
Hey, man. Dude, man. He ain't going to blow his fingers off for 4th of July. He's going to have to be quarantined. He's going to make it, man. You got to do the baby shark.
Stupid.
And I think the splash, it's got to be Brady, man. But, I mean, I don't know. I don't know how to feel about this. How excited can you really be about Tom Brady at 43? We already saw him like a decline last year.
You saw their quarterback throw as many interceptions as he threw touchdowns and break an NFL record. I'll take Brady.
Crab legs will do that to you.
12.
Crab legs will do that to you.
Ryan
Clark, Brady, I throw up the middle finger.
Did y'all see what Ryan Clark said? He was trying to be nice, but he completely just washed poor Jameis. He was like, when Jameis walks into a stadium, both teams know they have a chance to win.
He's 30 for 30.
And he
thought he
was cool. He was like, no, I'm not dissing him. I'm like, man, you don't even realize what, and Van Pelt had to tell him, dude, I don't think you realize what you're saying when you just said that. But speaking of, and I'm going to just slide this to my boy Hackett because he knows better than anybody. But Denver sits at number 15. And since, we done walked the Dallas Cowboys down the last few years, we saw them. I figure I'd get us to Hackett. We got needs everywhere: wide receiver, offensive line, defensive line, cornerback. Where do you think we should go?
Honestly, I think the safest bet is to go O-line for us. We can't afford to have another first-round draft pick receiver fail. You know what I mean? It's a real deep receiving core anyway on this draft. So I would go more or less safe with a lineman who doesn't necessarily have to step in immediately, but can just be worked in once he learns the system. So I think for us to be solid, that's where I go.
So we still got that boy Andrew
Thomas, Georgia.
Out of Georgia. And there's 4 tackles for sure. Actually, 5. There's 5 tackles that could go in the first round.
Now, here's my question. Is Andrew Thomas a left tackle or a right tackle?
He's a left tackle.
So
6'5", 315.
So then my final question to you, Hackett, then is, are we sticking with our current left tackle who will go nameless currently? Because when I say his name, my blood pressure goes up.
Yeah, we can't go with flags. Clearly, he can't do it. I mean, I just don't think he has it. He actually played a lot better, when Drew Lock stepped in, because the problem was our depth in the drop steps that the guys were taking. They would take the drop steps, but they would never step back into the pocket. The pocket has formed. You got to step back into it. They never did, man. So it was forcing people to run around bowls. Sorry. And when he'd shove him out, it's like now he's got a hole because he's like, you're not moving. You got to step in the pocket, man. But Drew Lock actually stepped in the pocket and helped him. Come on. I'm just saying. But I think we got to address it one way or another because after this year, we're not going to sign him again. So he has one more year left on his contract. So, yeah.
All right. My stress is true. I can't get that much more stress. My doctor says it's not good for my corona. So the 16th pick is Atlanta. They have cornerback, running back, and linebacker needs. Have they made any moves in free agency that you know of, Hackett?
Gurley.
Hey, and with that said, man, they lost their cornerback to Detroit, so they got to pick up a corner. So we're gonna give them Trayvon Diggs out of Bama. Plug and play.
Nice. I can dig it. Okay.
Yeah, D-Hart, that's the only thing I got for you, brother, is that Gurley. That's going to be nasty out there on turf.
So that's why I wanted to skip a little bit of time because here we go. Oh, he going to let just the background. Is the background just going to talk to us? Is that how you going to do this?
Just make sure it's extra loud and proud.
Are y'all ready for the next comedian?
Damn.
Yeah. Let's do this.
So Dallas has needs everywhere except on offense, truly.
Everywhere.
They picked up their receivers, at least from my point of view. So they got a lot of defensive needs. So talk to me, Jeezy. What do you think your boys need, man?
It's gonna burn me to pass on this particular player, which is my edge rusher out of LSU. But I need this safety. I need him. Xavier McKinney, I need you in Dallas. No matter what happens, please don't blow this for us, Jerry. Please don't. Even if you have somebody sitting there, I need this safety. You killed us last year by yourself when you didn't go get Earl, so I need Xavier McKinney to come on down to Dallas. We got something big that's brewing down here, baby.
You still want him even though y'all picked up HaHa?
Yep.
Yeah.
You'll be you might be good on the other side replacing the other safety. My point is
hilarious.
Right. The only good thing about HaHa is only 27 years old. He's not old, but you've been in 4 different systems the last 4 years. I don't think I can personally trust you, bro.
Hey, let's go.
So other than franchising Dak and picking up Cooper, what other free agency moves have they made?
We keep on signing our own players.
Yeah, pretty much. And that's what it is. There's re-signing. But I just think you got to get that Dak deal done. I think that's the most important thing you could do because right now you're leading into we're in the off season now. Well, your benefit that we're going through this pandemic right now that people really aren't practicing together. But imagine you're sitting there, you're Dak Prescott. You can't get a deal? Come on, Jerry, man. You got to get off your seat, man, and pay that man. Pay him what he wants, Jerry.
I think that it was set up this way anyway for him to get franchised no matter what happened, because when the salary cap blows up a little bit next year, we'll have more money to literally give this dude $38 million a year. And it's going to make a lot of people sick in the stomach.
Y'all want to pay the Ewok, and y'all can't pay this dude.
Hey.
I think it's because he's light-skinned. Teddy Bridgewater got money.
I'm simply saying that somebody's about to make 40, but it won't be Dak. But we know who is going to get 40.
Speaking of tans and getting darker, Miami has a pick from Pittsburgh. As we know, they're just completely rebuilding. So,
hey, we'll keep this short and sweet. They freaking drafted Tua. We drafted Tua early. So what do we got to do? We got to protect him, right? So we're going to go with Josh Jones, old tackle out of Houston. Plug and play, left tackle. Nice. There you go. They can grow together.
Nice.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Not a bad pick.
I was gonna say I know. Didn't Miami try to did they sign their cornerback? I forget what his name is.
Miami got Byron Jones, and they
Byron Jones.
Miami got 2 cornerbacks.
Yeah, I was gonna say
they're good at corner.
Yeah, I was gonna say I thought his name was Xavier Henry. Is that his name? I forget. I know they got a dog-ass cornerback down there, though.
Yeah, they're good.
Okay, so moving on from Miami, we come back to Las Vegas. Woo, Las Vegas got another pick. You guys are sorry. Anyway, okay. So wide receiver, inside defensive lineman, and cornerback. Who's Vegas going with, Jeezy?
We took care of their wide receiver earlier when they went ahead and got Jerry Jeudy. Chris gave him CD Lamb last time. This time, we're going to give them Clavon Chason, LSU edge, brother. I can't pass on him. He's a monster. But you can't pass on too many real good elite edge rushers, especially after you seen what the Giants did when they had 5 of them. Go get the quarterback.
You think Gruden's going to be smart?
Yes.
Hack, what's he done so far in free agency?
He got all the Cowboys.
You run a 4-1-40, I got you.
Hold on, I can help you with this. He went and bought all the Cowboys. He got Jason Witten. He got Jeff Heath, and then he went and got my defensive tackle, which is his name's Malik Collins. He went and got all the Cowboys.
And Marcus Mariota's going to throw to them all.
Hey, do you think, player?
Okay. Mr. Matlock, Jacksonville, they get a pick from the Los Angeles Rams. They need an edge, an offensive tackle, and a cornerback still. And I think I forget which need we met with them first, but we got a meeting.
Well, we'll make this quick. Since the Broncos they traded away their cornerback for nothing. We're just going to give them another cornerback. So we'll give him C.J. Henderson, cornerback out of Florida.
Okay. C.J. was already taken.
He was?
Yes.
Uh-oh.
Who the fuck
took him with San Fran at 13.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dude, that's some
happens.
bullshit.
Now what happens?
God, you know what, then?
Don't believe in the Harlem World, play a double up.
Hey, then we'll give him Kristen Fulton out of LSU.
That's a solid pick.
LSU.
Okay.
Still can't go wrong.
Solid pick.
He can run, too. I think he ran like 4.4.
Okay.
He's up there.
They'll sign him then.
Yeah.
So then you move.
Drafting.
Good.
Look at the wheels.
First time we're meeting this team.
Yeah, look at them wheels.
They recently won a Super Bowl. The Philadelphia.
I don't like how you phrase that right then.
I mean, but they have, Jeezy.
That's why I'm sticking 2 of these diamonds up here because there's still more rings than they had. And we had these in the 70s.
But they did win one, so you can't take that from them. And
were we born in the 70s?
What's that?
Were any of us born in the 70s?
Okay,
just checking.
I was born in 1980. I wasn't born.
So,
I got
Philly.
Anyway, don't get me started on my. I saw my rings in adolescence and adulthood. It felt good, you know.
Yes, it did.
It felt good.
I saw 3. I don't care when it happened.
Wait
for it.
Good.
Wait for it.
Make the pick.
So, who we got? Yeah, I was gonna say who we got. Philadelphia going with.
Unfortunately for me, and I think this happened to me and Chris yesterday, I'm gonna have to give Philadelphia Henry Ruggs III from Alabama. Dude ran a 4.27. The end.
And then Dallas lost their best corner. The end.
So, and speaking of, okay, now this one's going to be interesting.
This is the love pick.
Now, Chris, help me with this, because for whatever reason,
hey,
Minnesota.
Hey, man, don't be rubbing your eyes like that when
I'm just saying, they get y'all's pick, and they decide, you know what we're going to do? We're going to re-sign Kirk Cousins.
Hey, and you know what happens? No, but with this, no, you can't steal this from me. With the number 22 pick of the NFL draft, the Buffalo Bills select Stephon Diggs, wide receiver out of Minnesota. Let's go! Hey, man. Hey. But you know what? We thank Minnesota for their donation. And with that said, I don't think what's the dude's name? The receiver's name over there, the white boy.
I don't know. Doesn't matter.
What's his name?
Oh, Thielen?
Huh? Adam.
Thielen.
Mm-hmm. Hey, he's nice. Even on Madden, he's nice as hell. He can run routes. He's nice. But
that's why he needed anybody but Kirk Cousins.
He needs a Batman though. So we're gonna give him T. Higgins out of Clemson.
Timeout. They got rid of Everson Griffin today.
They sure did. But you got to score points.
Okay, well.
Still going to get T. Higgins.
They're not scoring points. They re-signed Kirk Cousins. So here's the next piece, and I know we can move right along with this. This is New England. They need everything.
Everything.
Tight end, linebacker. Where are they going, Jeezy?
Jordan Love. They're taking that quarterback. He can sit for a year and get his Brady on. But I feel bad for the league when Belichick unleashes this dude because he's going to be a terror.
And Josh McDaniels, man. He's another quarterback whisperer.
I don't trust him.
A great quarterback.
Did they re-sign him?
He did talk to Tebow for one play.
Hey, you want a playoff game? Got a playoff win.
Playoff game. Hey, Tebow, don't get me started, man.
You know what I'm saying?
I hate it.
Because it's longer than the time we have allotted here, gentlemen. Because
we probably got where we at. We probably got to move a little bit.
So
we got to move a whole lot of it right now. Let's go.
We're at New Orleans, so that's you, Chris.
All right, we're gonna give him the CU boy, Laviska Shenault, to go with Michael Thomas. You know what I mean?
Ouch.
You got Michael Thomas. He can run any kind of route, get open against whoever. Now you just add this crazy-ass athlete on the other side.
They officially resigned Drew Brees, didn't they, Hack?
Yes, sir. And Taysom. They put a franchise tag on Taysom Hill.
Yeah, that's right. That's going to be nice.
It's wise.
It's a different dynamic, bro. I don't know. I'm excited to see him play, man.
Oh, yeah. So we come back to the let's re-sign Kirk Cousins Minnesota Vikings. And who are they going to go with now?
I'm going to give them what Chris refused to give them last time. They're going to get A.J. Espenza out of Iowa, edge rusher, to replace Everson Griffin.
Hey, that's a man amongst boys right there.
That's a doozy.
You call him, man, I don't know if he's actually a DN or he's a D tackle. Like, he has a bad summer of Eden. He's a D tackle.
On that team, he's good either way.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, sticking with the M flow, the MI flow, let's go back to Miami because they get a pick from Houston. And as we know, they need everything.
I hate to give them this pick, but they're gonna draft their future. DeAndre, running back out of Georgia, DeAndre Swift.
Yeah.
God.
The running backs. Hey, man, they're proving the Broncos sold you out of the way. Now y'all want to draft them.
Dude, why you got to go there?
I'm just saying. Georgia running backs.
Fucking talking about Miami and some guy just brings up fucking the Broncos.
I mean, facts are facts no matter when you bring them up. But
yeah, thank you.
So moving on to the 27th pick, which is Seattle. Now, for whatever reason, I guess cap reasons, or maybe, I don't know, he might have been too thuggish, ruggish, but they have not brought back Jadeveon Clowney. So what did Seattle decide to do?
Seattle's going to go ahead and replace Clowney, even though I still think they're going to go out of their way to try to sign him. But right now, we're going to give them Yatir Gross-Matos out of Penn State.
Hey, he's nice, too. He's a freak.
He's going to be all right.
I hear Clowney's a head case, man, when it comes to football and just his work ethic, period. It's kind of a, bad attitude in the locker room. So
he steps on the field and does his job. I'm not going to argue.
Well,
work ethic amongst your leaders means something.
Hey, as long as he didn't coach at one of Sandusky's camps, he's all right with me. Baltimore is the next pick because since we're talking about defensive players, now they just picked up a good defensive player.
A few.
So, Matlock, since defensively they seem to be all right, even though it looks like they've got some needs, who you got them going with?
You know what, man? I had this pick different the other day.
What?
So today, I think they need to give that boy a possession receiver. Justin Jefferson out of LSU.
Lamar Jackson.
Hey, well done, young man.
Somebody that can run that slant route, run those, and somebody to toss it up to. Jefferson can do it all.
I like it.
Okay. So now that they get their offensive – speaking of offense, Tennessee, they had a pretty good year last year. They're sticking with Tannehill, the receiver converted quarterback.
Got like 90 mil throwing for 80 yards in a game.
Throwing for 80 yards. They gave the Broncos Jarrell Casey. Appreciate that. They now need an edge rusher, a right tackle, and a cornerback. Jeezy, who you got them going with?
I'm going to go ahead and give Tennessee Kenneth Murray, linebacker out of Oklahoma. You beefed up the line, even though you got rid of some of it. They had a solid D-line rotation, though, so they'll be okay on the D-line. You need some linebackers. You need some tacklers back there. Kenneth Murray, Oklahoma.
Okay. Has Tennessee made any other free agency moves, Hackett, or are they?
No, sir. Well, that re-signing of Tannehill and that tag on Derrick Henry, that's about it.
They let go a lot of players.
Beasley. That's about it. They haven't been doing much of anything.
I like Henry though, man. He's a hell of a well. So
I do too. I was hoping they want to deal with him, but
hey, I think his nickname from going forward should be the business decision. If you want to tackle that guy, you are making a business decision.
Yeah. You have to think of, man, because as the game goes on, he runs harder. And you do. I know they do be thinking if they hand him the ball.
AKA evaluate your future.
Right. I want to play next year, man. I got bills.
Right.
I got kids.
Bills, Green Bay. They got they just picked what did they just pick up?
I think they got the linebacker. Or they lost players, one of the two.
I was going to say, because they re-signed Aaron, what was that, last year?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But you know what, man? Just to save us time, I think Rodgers needs somebody that can complement Adams. And we're going to give him Denzel Mims out of Baylor because he's that gadget guy that can go do everything that Adams can't do. So we'll just give him another weapon so he can cry about not having blockers.
Gets Mims. This is why I'm
so far. Yeah, Packers just made 3 moves. Rick Wagner, Mercedes Lewis, and Christian Kirksey.
Oh.
So linebacker, tight end, tackle.
Mercedes Lewis is slow, but wasn't he a Cowboy?
No.
Probably was.
No. He was a Jaguar and a Detroit Lion.
Makes sense. Last 2 picks go to the Super Bowl players or the Super Bowl teams, which is San Francisco and Kansas City. Who you guys got them going with?
San Francisco is going to step up to the board. We gave them a cornerback last time in where are they at? I lost them. We gave them C.J. Henderson last time. They need an old lineman, but it's a while before the old lineman pops back on the menu. Austin Jackson, USC.
Okay.
All right.
And Kansas City.
KC. And I had them taking a corner. But I want to give the Broncos – I want them to just pound the Broncos out for some years, so we're going to give them we're going to give them J.K. Dobbins out of Ohio State.
I would expect you to say something crass like that.
give these guys a running back. Now you got this running back going with this premier runner with all these goddamn weapons with Patrick Mahomes. Hey,
Cap issues, bro. They got cap issues, man, and you still got to sign even your players you drafted, man. So they got problems over there. I don't see them keeping their team together too long, man.
That's wishful thinking right there.
Yes, it is.
I just don't see it, bro.
Guess what?
We
wished and we prayed and we brought Tebow in and he did his thing and it got us Peyton Manning. So we know how to use the faith and the energy and the secret. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to wishful think for a little bit.
Yes, sir.
Hey, so real quick.
Here we go.
D-Hart, what Broncos record? Knowing with y'all's opponents and your away games, so what you think y'all's record going to be? Real quick.
Man, I don't like speculating on things this early.
Oh, you don't?
8-8.
Interesting.
8. Oh,
8-8. Drew Lock 8-8.
Hack, what you got?
I'm gonna hold like I'm holding cards. I'm gonna go 9 and a possible. 9 and a possible.
Yeah, what you got?
9 and a P.
Yeah, 9 and a possible.
Cowboys. What the Cowboys
beat the Chiefs, dude, multiple times, man, and we sucked. Now we're good. Come on, bro.
The Cowboys will swing back towards the mean. I'm gonna go ahead and take a 10-6 because they just so underwhelmed me last year. Yeah, 10-6.
10-6. And these Buffalo Bills that are going to win the freaking AFC East in my adulthood. We are gonna go 9-7, 10-6 because we got a hefty schedule against us. So 9-7, 10-6 wins the AFC East, and let's go.
Let's go, baby.
Let's go. Hey, everybody drinks up.
Shots up.
Hey, hats off to y'all for our first Corona draft.
Nah, brother. This is a high life draft, player. It's a high life draft.
High life. Let's go.
On a mock draft. Charge.
All right, man.
Cheerio, mates.
This to YouTube, man, and it'll be on Facebook soon, man. Peace out.
All right, fellas.